Welcome everybody to another episode of the BeBall Jones podcast. And today we have my guy, Nelson Haskin, Defensive Player of the Year. What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? How you been?
Been all right, man. What about you?
I've been good, man. Just working. I'm on the off-season grind.
I feel that, man. It's a pretty hot summer out there, man.
Hot.
It's been pretty hot, man. You sit outside for like 2 seconds, start sweating a little bit. Sit outside about 10 seconds, you probably got to change t-shirts. Sit outside 30 seconds, you probably finna be drenched in sweat. And with these takes today, we might have a couple of hot takes today, man. I don't know how people gonna receive it, but we're gonna have some hot takes. Some of them might be hot at the summertime that it is right now. Some of them might be kind of warm. I don't know yet, man. But today we're gonna kind of get into some of our I guess you call them hot takes. I don't know yet. It just depends on how the people take it. But we'll get into our bag a little bit today with this one, man. So we don't know what to call it yet exactly. It's kind of a segment. We've been saying this for like almost a year now. Come close to it. The only thing we can think to come up with this is don't kill me, but just hold on. Like, hear me out, man. Before y'all try to kill me and put me on the cross, burn me on a stake like they did back in the day, man. Just hear us out. All right, so with the first one, 'tis the season of summer league and everything going on. The draft just happened not too long ago. My first thought is going to be the number one pick is overrated. Not a specific number one pick this year of who it was, but the concept of being number one pick is very overrated in my opinion. Reason being that I think mainly it comes down to pride. Like if you remove like the ego and the male testosterone to be like, ego to be like, man, I was the number one pick. I don't think people would care as much because it really comes down to being a good fit. Because if you care too much about being number one pick, you end up being in a terrible team, and now your career is in a downward spiral just because of the situation. I'd much rather be a number 5 pick, but go to a great organization. For me, that makes a lot more sense to where I can flourish, I can grow, I can make mistakes, have my rookie bumps, and move on forward, than to go to a program or a team on the number one pick, but everybody around me bums, don't know how to hoop. My coach sucked. And we ain't got no organization here, so I look like a bum too. And now I'm a bust because everything around me sucks. So, in my opinion, the number one pick is very, very overrated. I just feel like it gets too much hype sometimes of like, well, who's the number one pick? Like, it's cool for bragging rights and stuff, man, but like, once you get past that, like, who cares? Like, what's the big deal of being number one pick? Especially if you end up being a bust and you only have like a legit career or nothing, man. So, I just feel like the number one pick is a little overhyped, a little overrated, man. But I don't know, man. What you think?
I can sort of see. I get your logic definitely because being the number one pick doesn't guarantee you're gonna be the best player in that draft. Because Michael Jordan wasn't the number one pick. Michael Jordan drafted number 2. So a lot of people.
Next point.
Yeah, a lot of people probably don't even realize that. But what I will say is, like, one thing you said that I didn't like was after the draft night, like, oh, after that first year, who cares? Oh, the team that drafted that guy, they care. Whoever drafted Anthony Bennett, number 1, the Cleveland Cavaliers care about that pick. The guys who drafted Andrew Wiggins, number 1, they care about that pick. Like, all that. And, people, like, I get what you're saying. And you got some ground to stand on, but I feel like being number one pick, I feel like it means something to the fact that a lot of times guys draft the number 1 pick. Like, there's only 2 reasons to draft a guy in any case, for fit and for talent. So, like, you might not be the most talented guy, but you might be the best fit for our team. So, like, maybe we got, like, the first pick in the draft this year was buddy from Duke.
Pablo something.
Pop, yeah. So if we already got a great player at that position, we might not draft him. But when it came in the case of Zion Williamson, the Pelicans technically had they 4-5 man in well, not Brandon Ingram, because Brandon Ingram kind of play on the wing, but they had somebody that was like on that 4-5. I mean that 3-4 position that Zion played. But Zion, they felt like Zion's talent was so great, his potential was so great, they drafted him anyway. Like it didn't matter. We're gonna make it fit. So I feel like the number one pick just lets everybody know, like, okay, this guy we feel like has the most potential out of everybody. So I feel like it's not. I don't think it's overhyped, but I see what you're saying though. Like, you know, it ain't the most important thing, but the team that drafted that guy, like, it's important. So I don't know.
I see where you're coming from with that, but going back to like the first thing you said, like the team that drafted whoever cares. So Anthony Bennett, Andrew Wiggins, Cat, D Rose, LeBron, like out of all these guys, the number one picks, you just name like probably a GOAT in LeBron, then you just name a bust in Bennett, a really solid role player in Wiggins, perennial superstar guy in D Rose who just, you know, injuries cut him short. So the number one picks went from all the way up to the all the way to the bottom. But imagine if Bennett would have went to a better team. He might not be a bust. He might be in a better situation. What if he slipped one or two more picks? Then he would be talked about as an all-star, the same pocket as a Wiggins, or the same pocket as maybe a D Rose. We never know. Not to say that his talent doesn't, you know, obviously he had some level of NBA talent. His talent only ran like his talent ran dry after like 2 seasons. I don't think he was in there more than like 4 seasons, but he actually played maybe 2. So when it comes to where you're picked, that should be more important. Like if I'm getting drafted, if I'm in a draft right now, and you talked about as being the number one pick, would I rather go to the Rockets with a whole bunch of chaos and confusion? They got the number one pick, or would I rather go to I think OKC had the second pick this year. They always have a good job of, you know, building up their talent and developing the draft picks. Like pretty much every high draft pick they had, well, I don't know, almost all of them. They had a really good handful of draft picks that turned out well for them. KD, Westbrook, James Harden, Serge Ibaka, Jeff Green, Reggie Jackson. They know how to get talent, good young guys, and develop them pretty well. So if you're telling me I could be the number one pick with the Rockets and not know what's going to happen for sure, or maybe slide to the number 4 or 5 pick with OKC, I might want to slide to OKC. Just because I know I'm guaranteed to have a better foundation to stand on, where or a team like the Kings, where it's just like they got a different coach every half season, and you don't know who coaching you, different GM every 3 seasons. Like, come on, bro. Like, you have no stability to build on. So, ain't no telling what I'm going to be. You think, oh, I'm excited to go to Sacramento, but next thing you know, you traded halfway through your sophomore season because y'all suck. Like, come on, bro. Like, is it worth being number one pick now when your whole career is thrown up in flames and you got to be at this okay franchise at best, or go to a franchise that obviously not that good because they got a high pick or lottery pick, or have potential like really have a solid career. So it's like be a number one pick or slide a pick or two less and have a solid career. That's what I see it as. So it's like, oh, I'm the number one pick, but now you're out the league, or now you're not as good as you could have been. So I just feel like it's a little overhyped sometimes to be like, I'm the number one pick. I get the ego side of a player. I get it. I completely understand. I'm not talking about that. But take the ego out of it. Does it make sense? That's why I come in. It's like, that don't make sense, bro. Like, that team sucks. You would fit better on this team. So that's why I feel like it's overrated still.
And that's a fair point, that you might not even be a good fit for that team, and they just drafted you because you might be the most touted or like have the highest potential. But this is my thing. This is what I would say to that. It don't matter where you get drafted. You could still get traded. You could get like anything. You could go to a team and like not like that coach, or like you could get drafted by a team that's like you said, I could slide back to like to the 4th, 5th pick and go to OKC or somewhere. Like, what if you go to OKC and they got a decent team? Now you getting 15 minutes a game instead of going to the Rockets or somebody where you would have been playing 28 because they want you to develop. Like it's a toss up either way. Like it's a certain amount of luck involved with like every career. Like, so it's just like I wouldn't bank on, like, I wouldn't be out here just saying I'd rather go to this place because it might be a better fit for me. Like, you'll mess around and go there and like not be getting in a whole lot because this team good. They was already good before you got there. Like they might not have been on a championship team, but like they was already trending in the right direction. And now you just a piece to the puzzle, which you might be satisfied with that. So that depends on the individual. Like if you care about winning and stuff, that's cool. Like that's good that you do that you care about that. But if you want to develop and be as good as you could possibly be, like how people say Kyrie being with the Celtics might have stunned Jason Tatum and them growth. Like they might not have became the guys we see today if Kyrie would have stayed. Same thing with guys that play with LeBron and them. Like they don't have the opportunity to turn into stars because they were playing with LeBron James. So like you saying you might be better like sliding a couple picks back and just being with the right fit for you. Like there's no telling what the right fit for you is. You ain't never been in the NBA before. So my thing, like I want to agree with you because like I see what you're saying, but I just can't. Like in my mind, like maybe it's the player in me. It's like, man, take me number one. Because like at the end of the day,
yeah, I get it. Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna go out here and hoop. That's how I feel. Like I'm gonna figure it out. Just give me a chance, and like the guy, like I'm gonna give me some time to adjust. Let me play. And like if I'm going to a sorry team because I'm the number one pick, that's cool. Like it is what it is. I'm just gonna go out there and hoop anyway. Like I know we probably ain't gonna win a whole lot of games, but doggone, I'm gonna go out here every night, do my best, and get the experience. Cause like ain't nobody expecting a whole lot for you out the gate, no way. It ain't like they expect you to take them to a championship. They just want you to hoop. They want you to develop. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to my coach day one. Like, hey, like I said about my coach, I'm gonna go to my coach day one. Hey, like what you expect out of me? What y'all brought me here to do? What's my role for the team? And if he say, hey man, I want you to go out there and try to get 30 every night, then doggone it, I'm finna. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of the degree of that lands with the player. Like you gotta hoop. Like you figure it out, find you a vet, get up with whoever the OG on your team is. We had our discussion about that. Talk to the Udonis Haslam of your team. Get him to help you figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And do the best you can with wherever you land. So I feel like it's on you at the end of the day. So if I'm the number one pick, I ain't overrated. That's how I see it.
I'm not saying the player's overrated. I'm saying the desire to be picked at number one, it becomes a little overrated. Because at the end of the day, basketball comes down to chemistry. Chemistry is about fit. If these two players fit together, then that's what makes the team so much more beautiful to work. LeBron and D-Wade didn't work out at first because they didn't have the chemistry because two ball-dominant players like that did not fit. Until D-Wade said, matter of fact, here you go. Here go the car keys. You take the steering wheel, and I'll be the passenger driver. Okay, now we fit because now we're figuring out how to play off each other and play off ball. Okay, boom. That's where you get 2 championships in 4 years at. When Steph Curry and KD first came together, they had to figure it out because KD used to be in ball dominant, or I give it to Westbrook. He do his thing. It's either any, mini, minor more between which one of us. This whole off ball movement stuff, we ain't doing that. Okay, see, I got to figure things out to where it works. But now you're talking about KD who can pretty much fit in any system. He's a great fit anywhere. Like that's the ultimate cheat code. Steph Curry fits in pretty much any system. Like you can't put them anywhere and they don't fit. But when it comes down to a rookie to develop and grow, I'm not like the player in me. Like I'm thinking once again, ego and pride talking. Oh, I can be the one to change this franchise around. That's the mindset I want player to go in with. Yeah, the Rockets suck, the Kings suck, but I can be the one to change this franchise around. Speaking of the Kings, DeMarcus Cousins, he said, "Oh, we're going to go in and ball out." The man balled out. He was putting up 28 and 12 in his sleep. Like, what more can you ask from him? Had some of the worst coaching, not one of the worst coaching, but had the worst coaching like tenure as far as like pretty much new coach every season he had. Teammates going in and out the door left and right. What vets? Everybody getting traded away. Like the only vet I could think of was Matt Barnes. So it's like I got a good vet, but then he gone. I like this coach, but he gone. I hate this coach, and he here for 2 years, but then he gone. So it's like, what's the ability do I have to consistently grow on? Cause it's still balling out, but then you start having the talks of, oh, he's overrated because he can't win. His stats don't mean nothing because he got empty stats because they're not winning. So it's like, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't, because it's just like at this point, I'm giving you numbers. I've been here 7, 8 years balling out. Brad Bill been the Wizards and touched the playoffs a couple times, but he basically giving us empty numbers. Like, so you would rather ball out with empty numbers, be a role player and develop into more like a Giannis and, develop to be the man, or be a super late pick and be a scrub / bench player, develop to be possibly become more. So that's just where I stand. Where it's like the fight to be number one pick, to be a DeMarcus Cousins, even though he's like the number 5 pick. I'm like, man, I'm the number 1 pick. But the team sucks. So yeah, I'm balling out, but I'm just like empty stats. Everybody clowning me saying missing all stars when I'm obviously the best center in the game, or at least one of the best centers in the game every year. But now I get nothing for it because the Kings suck winning the playoffs. But that ain't my fault. If I had a better team, a better fit, slide down to number 6, boom. Now we in the playoffs. So now my stat, I might not put up 28, I put up 24. I might not put up 12, but I put up 6. I mean, not 6, that's too far to drop. Like 9. So it's like, boom. Now I'm rookie of the year. Now I'm an all-star in my second year. Now I'm on this trajectory to where same career or similar stats and stuff, but now career and resume is up here now because the fit was a lot better from the beginning. So you give a guy a number 1 pick, his first 3 years are pretty much a waste because he's playing with trash. That's why people want Zion to leave, because the Pelican ain't doing too much in a lot of people's eyes. But they made a play-in last year that makes noise in the playoffs. So I'm just like, So I'm not saying 100% across the board that it's just like bad to be number 1 pick, but I think the emphasis should be on, does this team fit this player? So number 1 pick is not overly bad, but it's overrated to a point where it's just like number 1 or die. Draft me number 1 or I don't care. Like, nah, man, it's all about fit. So that's what my argument is.
So my last counter to that would be, you kind of touched on it when you said that why everybody says Zion Williamson should leave. Like, leave. If you don't think the organization being ran correctly, if they're not really building around you, if you don't think it's a good fit for you, if you don't like this coach, you don't like this city, whatever, leave. That rookie deal for 2 years. 2. We just seen John Morant get his bag. We just seen Zion Williamson get a bag. We just, like, guys is signing for the big money that was just drafted. And they stand with the teams that drafted them, obviously, but we seeing it. Jalen Brunson just went to the Knicks, just signed for a bag. So, like, you can leave. Like, I don't know if people think about that. Like DeMarcus Cousins, you could 100% right. Sacramento not being ran correctly. I mean, I ain't say correctly, but not being ran well at the time. Coaches in and out the door, players in and out the door, trying to figure it out. Can't really get guys to come in, like get free agents to come in and help, But like you said, he was there for 7, 8 years. And some could say he wasted his best years in Sacramento. Cause then he tried to leave and go to
New Orleans.
He got hurt, and then he went to he got sent to the Pelicans. They finally traded him to the Pelicans. And he linked up with AD, and him and AD was going crazy for a minute. They had a good little run, but then start having injuries, and the injuries haven't stopped. So then he went from the Pelicans, went to the Warriors, went from the Warriors, went to the Lakers. It was bad. Like, he couldn't get right. So that a lot of people could say he wasted his best years there. But so now we look at it in hindsight and be like, man, he should have left. Then me and you have talked about Brad Beal a lot of times. Like, we wish Brad would just go ahead and leave. Brad just opted out to re-sign with the Wizards. So when you come to me talking about, man, you can slide back and be at a better fit and help your resume and, like, have a better career, like, you can still do that. You just might have to take that 2-year gap and just, learn, get that experience, hoop, whatever, get your feet wet. And if you don't like something about it, leave. Because if you that guy, like them 2-3 years in, if you that guy, you going to figure it out somewhere else. Or, like, you'll go, somebody else going to sign you. Like, you're going to have a good amount of money somewhere else. Especially if you hoop for your first 2 years or whatever. And, like, y'all might not make the playoffs or whatever, but, like, people respect young players that's hooping. Like, I remember when Luka first came in the league, Trae Young, Ja Morant. When they first got in the league, we respected them guys. We was like, oh, he gonna be that deal. Like, he gonna be that deal. And all them guys still with the same team. So I'm not cutting no slack. It's like, hey, if you want championships and rings and all that, and, like, you could leave. You could go to somewhere that's a fit for you. I ain't saying go link up with the Warriors or just go to the easiest team to win a championship for, but, like, go look for the things that you're looking for. Like, oh, okay, I want to fit. Like, Okay, I'm John Morant. I want a good fit. I'm gonna go to a team that ain't got a solid guard right now, or that's got everything but that, or whatever. Same thing for Trae Young. Or if I'm Trae Young, my rookie deal up. I've been hooping, but Atlanta ain't really building around me. I might go link up with Joel Embiid or something. Like, go somewhere that's got what you need. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you're looking for. But then you got these young guys like, man, 231 mil, 5 years. Trae Young. So I hear you, but I don't hear you. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I see right now.
And that last point is exactly why they still sign. So that first contract you get, say it's like 50 mil for 3 years. I don't know, just throwing a number out there.
Yeah.
That next deal you sign from them is 250 or 150 for 4 years. So you talking about a whole 100 mil? What? I will suffer through this next year or two.
Hey, I'm gonna just get out there hoop.
Hey, you said I need to put up 30 points. All right, man. What a contract! What a contract that, man. Yeah.
Oh man.
You talking about it's a big gap between if you re-sign your rookie deal, because I forgot what I think it might be. I forgot who the deal name after, but if you re-sign on your rookie deal, that contract they can max out on you is a nice little gap difference between that next contract you can get, no matter what.
Oh yeah.
And it's like some people be like, "Oh, it's easy. Just give up 30 mil. 30 mil.
Easy.
That difference, 30 mil. Oh, it's easy to do. No, bro. 30 million is not some chump change, bro. 30 mil will change your life right now. Because I think either Westbrook or Kyrie just signed a 1-year deal or re-signed, lock back into the contract for like 37 mil or something like that. 30 mil, somewhere around there. What? Ain't nobody finna turn that down, bro. That's not an easy thing to do. To be like, oh, just turn out the money. You can do this. You have a contract with your job that you don't like for 30 mil. You will re-sign that in a heartbeat. So this man actually likes what he's doing. I can go somewhere else, a different situation. Like, 30 mil. That sounds like a couple nice houses right there. That sounds like a new car too. So that's the last thing I think about when people talk about these deals. So like, yeah, you can leave after this year, but that bag, you get traded. It's so much thing in the contract where you get traded at this time or this thing, or whatever. The contract deals is different. That's the last little piece that people don't think about sometimes when it comes to that. So you gotta play a long-term game with that, man. But I still feel like the number one pick, the hype of the ego stroking of being like I'm the number one pick is a little overrated, man. Like the fit matters 10 times more than just the bragging rights of being the number one pick. So I guess we have to agree disagree on this one.
Yeah, man, it looks that way, man. But y'all, hey, this is where y'all come in at though. So y'all hop in the comments and let us know who y'all agree with. Do y'all agree with Brian? Do y'all think being the number one pick is overrated? Is it more important to go somewhere that fits? Or do you agree with me with like being the number one pick is like still important? And if you don't like where you are, you could just leave after that deal is over. Or what do you guys think? Give us y'all opinion, man. This is where y'all come in at. Because really, we probably ain't going to change our minds, but y'all kind of decide who wins. So at least if y'all agree with one of us, we can tell them like, hey, nah, the people spoke. And they said I was right. So do that for us, man. Hop in the comments and let us know what y'all think. But is there anything else you want to throw out there before we get out of here, man?
Think about that contract, man. 30-40 mil ain't light, man. I'm telling y'all.
No, it ain't light now. It ain't light at all.
I could just go somewhere else. You lose a lot of money too. That sound cute, but that contract, you see a couple zeros on them checks. Hold on, time out. How much? Oh, yeah. Stay here. I already got a house here. I got an apartment here. Yeah, my girlfriend. Yeah, I'm good.
You know, Memphis ain't so bad.
It ain't too bad. I like the South. I'm from the South. Like, hey, he from South Carolina, so it ain't too different. You know, I'll make it work.
We can rock out. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for listening to our newest segment. Don't hate me, or don't kill me, but don't. I'm sorry. We appreciate y'all for listening to our newest segment. Don't kill me, but. So y'all don't kill Brian. You know, he came in here, he gave us some good, he gave good information on why he believed what he believes. So y'all let us know, like we said, who y'all think won. And be sure to check us out next week for another segment of this. And be sure to follow Brian on our social media at BeBall Jones. That's BeBall Jones on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and on TikTok. So go check him out on all those platforms. And then follow me on Twitter at NellyH34. And Nelson Haskin on IG, and just my name on Facebook. And be sure to follow the podcast on TikTok. We got a couple videos up there already. And be sure to like and subscribe, man. But we appreciate y'all for listening. And we check y'all out next week, man. We out.